Alright, now that we have all the maps and everything, we're going to composition them in Photoshop. So I'm just going to close out everything I have here in Photoshop. Then go open, and I'm going to open the armor example. And here's color map, normal map, color map, and normal map. That might take a minute because they're all 4096 maps. And at this point, I usually make a new map. This one is going to be 4096 by 4096. And I'll name this armor or Bane Thrall, yeah. Bane Thrall color map. So this one's going to contain all the other color maps on it. And I'll make a new one of that. Same thing. This one is going to be called Bane Thrall underscore normal map NM. Okay, so all the other maps go to these two maps. Every map of them. Now I can quickly go in between, and I'm just going to take and go to the very top of the heap and go like this. Right click, duplicate layer, and put this on Bane Thrall color map. Bam, and close it out. Okay, next one. This is a normal map, goes on to Bane Thrall normal map. Okay, next one. Color map. Bane Thrall color map. Close that one out. Next one. Bane Thrall normal map. So you can see a trend here. Alright, there we go. We got all the color maps and all the normal maps. The normal map, I'm going to take and go to the background color and fill it with 128 by 128 by 255. That is the neutral blue for normal maps. There we go. This one, I'm going to start working on a color scheme. And I think what I'm going to do is just kind of pick out a couple colors. So first off, I'm going to go within this color range and pick out like a reddish. You know what? I did red already, so I'm gonna make this guy a bluish night. But I'm gonna pick colors that are really rich and vibrant. And then I'm gonna lower it down. So I'm always gonna pick colors within this range. Now I can always adjust it. So what colors I really want is the ones I'm gonna pick out. I like this. I'm just gonna make a splotch of this over somewhere. Okay, so it's going to be armor pieces. Then I want to pick out something for leather. So I'm going to hue shift this up to red. Okay, that's giving me a cool brown. And that brown's going to kind of go well with that blue. And let's see what else. We have, this with garnet type of red here. So I'm going to go higher. And then I'm going to take and raise up the HSB. I'm going to raise up the B, the blackness value. Okay, so I'm going to have some of this. And I think that's it. I think with those three major colors I can come up with a lot of stuff. Alright, well, the secret here is, first off, I painted this in the wrong layer, but that's okay. Just going to take this and cut it anyway. It does not want to cut. There we go. Cut. And then edit paste it. I'm going to put this on the top and just kind of put it over in the corner and lock it out. Okay, so now I can't touch it. But I can grab from it. These things need to do the following. Okay. First off, a base color. And since the majority of it's going to be blue, I decided that's what I'm going to start out with. I think this Wacom tablet pen is broke. Yes, it is. That's alright. I'll use a mouse. So, here, we'll just go like that with a blue. Now, this blue is going to be a little bright. We're going to find that out here. We're going to go like this. And then we're going to duplicate this into multiply. So we're going to take a multiply channel, and this one we're going to multiply. Now every map that you produce is going to have the same color correction on it. Okay? Those color corrections are as follows. Let's go to levels. And in levels, you're going to see that over here we got some dead channel. So I'm going to up the dead channel quite a bit. But the problem with this is I need it to only affect these two layers. So the one thing that I have to probably do here is not do it via levels on an adjustment channel, but do it individual map, which is kind of disheartening, but let's go to levels. You can see all this dead channel right here. So that needs to go away. Same thing here. Kill the levels. And then I can take and duplicate these two. See, it gets a lot darker. I'm going to duplicate it one more time, and these will be overlays. There we go. Now you can see that blue is a little bit too light, right? A little bit too light. So what I'm going to do is darken it up quite a bit. Also, I want to darken it up so these match. Well, that's very easy to do. You just unlock them, put them in the background here, put them way in the background, and then these are going to represent what I need them to be. Okay, so we're going to darken the three palette ones. Image, adjustments, exposure. And we're going to expose these down. So that's the color right there is what I want. Hit OK. Then we're going to drag it up. So these colors really add up to these colors in the end, which is kind of neat. Now we got the real colors after we multiply it a few times. So now we can steal these all day long and plop them in the background. Good, good. I work out my base colors first, and I like keeping all my base colors on one layer. So at any one time, I can always go to this layer, and it will change the entire character. Some of this reddish stuff. Now that red is really, really red. Gonna have to work that out a little bit. So let's see. Not liking that too much. I'm gonna take the B channel down a little bit. That's a little bit better. I'm painting with my mouse, so excuse my slowness. But the tip of my Wacom tablet pen suffered the child. Come on, I know somebody has kids out there, and you know those kids love those Wacom tablet pens. Okay, cool, cool. Alright, now that we have the base tones down, what I'm going to look at is putting a texture over the top of everything. Just going to search for that on the other monitor here. Alright, and what I'm looking for is just something that's really just kind of generally scratched up. I mean, these textures are nothing to write home about. Okay, I'm going to copy this and I'll paste it over here to show you what I picked out. Okay, this thing. I'm going to put this up on top. What I'm worried about is scale. So this has to be the scale of what scratches would be on these items. Generally, it's really small. Okay. Now I'm just going to set this on overlay or multiply. You can see that does a nice job of putting little tiny scratches in. Okay, let's go to normal. We need to copy this over a few thousand times. And if I'm ever going to develop this as a whole armor set, you know, I really need this to be a lot. And I need it to be at this scale, not the scale I dragged it in at. Well, there is a painstaking way to do that. One of these days I'm going to write an action for this. So what you do, you tile it over. You take chalk. Chalk is this one. And you go like that a couple times. Now the bigger the better. So if you take one wide swipe with a huge piece of chalk, it cuts it off a lot better and they blend. See? Then I hit Control E. Now I get a bigger square. Well, I repeat this process over and over again until I have such a big square that it takes and encompasses the entire document. Control E. As I said, this is pretty fun. But for the entire character, I'm going to be using this. Control E is to drop layers. Merge down. Okay, there. Control E. Now I'm going to copy this whole thing. There is going to be a pattern, but the pattern is not going to be noticeable at a smaller micro scale. Okay, just know that. So this is my noise. Okay, let's go Control E all the way down. Good. And then we can stick this on overlay. We can also stick it on multiply too. Our idea here is to get it really, really contrasty. Really contrasty. So I can duplicate this and go to multiply. Now these can be adjusted. So I like doing that via brightness or levels. Image adjustment levels. What my idea here is to get the scratches very prominent. Almost glowing like. And then I can turn it down. There we go. Cool. This one we could turn down quite a bit too. Contrast is the best when games are involved. Okay, now I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to go get a different Wacom tablet pen, and then I'll continue in the next video.